I identify myself as black because my father is black.
Were you raised with your father?
No, I was raised with my mom.
And your mom is white?
Yes.
So why would you identify yourself with black just because your dad's black if you was raised with your mom?
Because my mom told me that I should always identify myself as what my father is.
I would say I just identify myself as being African American, but at the beginning, when I was younger, I used to erase everything and put mixed, and I used to get in trouble by my teachers. And they would always say, why are you putting mixed on there? You're either, black, or you're black, basically. And so I would have to say, back then I would say mixed, but now I understand that I kind of have to just say African American because that's what society breaks it down to.
Black, to be honest, because that's the side that I grew up with. So
I identify myself with black and white because my parents, my mom is mixed, half and half, she's black and white. My grandparents, that's why.
Basically, I'm multiracial, so I don't just choose one race. I just say I'm mixed, or I would mark 3 things on whatever the choices were, or I just say other.
I identify myself as being black the most. Why? For the simple fact, being around my white family so much, I feel like I don't have as much of a touch with my black side of the family. Later on in my adult years, I have been more in touch with them than I have with my white side of the family.
I'm mixed. I'm not going to answer black nor white. I'm multiracial.
Multiracial?
Yeah.
Do you hang with one race more than the other?
I mean, growing up on the south side, you ain't got no choice but to hang out with one. So I'm consider myself black. If you put me in a category.
I identify myself as black because my father...
Alright, Shalom. As always, all praises, honor, and glory goes out to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakaha Kodash, double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect, scattered throughout the 4 corners of the earth. Alright, Lord willing, this won't be quick and edifying. Try not to make it long. And the first Eve here you see on the screen, she's the only one that has it correct. And she was, we could say she was blessed, with that information, her mom telling her that she should identify, as what her father is. On the other hand, the rest, they're subject to the curses, as well as she is. They're subject to the curses in Deuteronomy 28, being discontinued from, our heritage and so on and so forth. They have no clue who they are. People today call themselves mixed, black, multiracial, and all of that is incorrect. You cannot be a color. You cannot be more than one race. And there's no such thing as mixed. So let's jump into the scriptures. The first one is in Numbers. And this is Numbers chapter 1. And this is verse 18. The word verse 18 reads, "And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the 2nd month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upwards by their poll." And this is how the Heavenly Father, Yahweh ordained it. You're going to be... You are what your father is. This is what this pretty much is saying, And let me see if I go into the word pedigree here. Pedigree goes into bearing children, pretty much. Born, beget. So the word beget, when you beget someone, let me get that in the Merriam-Webster. Just trying to link some things through the spirit. To procreate as the father, right? So how does a father procreate with a woman, or a man procreate with a woman? He ejaculates sperm into the woman, and then he begets a child. But so this is literally telling you that, you know, our heritage, because first and foremost, we're not black, we're not African American, we're not Jamaican, we're not Mexican, we're none of those things, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, Caribbean people, which are Negroes as well. The Negroes in the Americas, in America, Babylon the Great today, that identify yourself as black, mixed, and all these different type of racial slurs or bywords, however you want to put it. You are Hebrew Israelites. You are from the nation of Israel. It was prophesied that you would discontinue from your heritage and forget who you are. So that's why today we're people that don't really know who we are. We're labeled because the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked, and the wicked his job is to destroy us, as being a tool of the Heavenly Father, being subject to those curses. We then discontinued from knowing who we are, taking on different names that Esau, the so-called white man, has labeled onto us to destroy us, to further the confusion, to further, to continue the dumb state, that our people are in, a lost state, that destroyed state. However, there has been an awakening, for quite some time, for decades. And the Lord has been waking up his people, waking us up, returning this heritage, bringing us back to remembrance of who we are, and through the Spirit, we know that we're Hebrew Israelites. We're not Africans. We're not African Americans. We're none of these things. We're Israelites. We're from our nation is Yasharallah in the Hebrew, right? So let me stop rambling. Let me get this is Galatians. So Galatians chapter 3, I think verse 16. When you talk about lineage, right? Let's read this. It's Galatians chapter 3, verse 16. It says, "Now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made." And the key word here is seed, and it says, "He said not unto seeds of many." So it's not talking about many, different seeds, right? I'm going to explain it more. "But as of one, to thy seed, which is Yahushai, Hamashiach," who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. It's talking about a specific lineage, because when you go into the word seed, it will explain it, right? So the word seed here should be sperma, and sperma, when you read down, it says the semen viral, the product of this semen, the seed, children, offspring, progeny. Women cannot give seed or semen. Semen comes from a man, and that's what a child is. A child comes from semen. She does not come from her mother. A woman is like the earth. You put a seed in the earth, it nurtures it, and it gives it the nutrients, it develops it, and then it grows, and then it pushes out of the earth. Likewise, a woman with the sperm, her body is designed to do just that, do the same thing that the earth does for a seed when it's planted in the soil. When the time has come and the baby is ready to be pushed out, that's what happens. But there's a common misconception with women that because they bear all of these pains and carry a child in their belly for 9 months, they created the baby, disregarding the man, when the man comes from the sperma. The man comes from the seed.
Strong's G 4690, sperma.
It's these things are playing, things like this, things from the law and words of Yahweh Shem Shai are playing to the righteous. Our whole nation in general will be righteous in the kingdom. We're created to be a holy, righteous nation. But in this time, you have a thing called the 2/3 and the 1/3. The 2/3 are the sect of our people that are going to be destroyed and cut off and be rebirthed in the kingdom. And then the 1/3 are the ones that are predestined to be saved, to be delivered into the chariots, so-called UFOs. Nonetheless, again, so it says, the product of this semen, seed, children, offspring, progeny, right? And that's the point there. I think I have one more here. Just to show the difference with being an Israelite or being of your father or identifying as your mother and mixed and all that's bullshit. So this is Leviticus chapter 24 and verse 10, and it says, and the son of an Israelitish woman whose father was an Egyptian. You see that? He's not an Israelite. He's the son of an Israelitish woman, and his father is an Egyptian. So what does that make him? Based on reading Galatians, that makes him the seed of his father, and his father was an Egyptian. And let me continue. It says so it says, whose father was an Egyptian, went out among the children of Israel. So he went out among the children of Israel, but he's not a child of Israel. This son of the Israelitish woman and a man of Israel strove together in the camp. You see the difference? It's completely separate. They're completely separate because they're not the same people, right? The Israelitish woman's son blasphemed the name of the Lord and cursed, and they brought him unto Moses, and his mother's name was Shemalith, the daughter of Dibri of the tribe of Dan, and they put him in ward, and that the mind of the Lord might be shewed them. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, bring him forth that hath cursed without the camp, and let all that heard him lay their hands upon his head, and let all the congregation stone him. Well, the point was made, you are what your father is, and a part of Esau's job, the so-called white man's job, was to confuse you, confuse our people and keep them in that dead state, not knowing who they are. But in these times, there has been a massive awakening. Our people are returning. Even the 2/3 know that they're Israelites. Even at camp on Saturday, consistently, you have people pass and say, oh, Israelites, or they say, big up, even young men. So our people know, the signs are out there on the highways and the byways, across the four corners of the earth. This word is there. It's even subconsciously people know, because we see things subconsciously. We read things subconsciously. We see things on the internet and not really pay much attention, but subconsciously it's registered. So at some point in time, when it's too late, majority of these people are going to come to remembrance of what they saw, what they heard. We telling them you're not black. Because when you say simple things like, oh, nobody is the color black, and when you really look into it, it's true. Do you have people that have very, Hamites? Hamites are the closest thing to the color black. But when you really look into it, they're dark brown. Nobody's pitch black. So the fact that you call yourself black is not a good thing. It's a very negative vibration. Black means darkness. It means death. It doesn't have good vibration. Whilst white has a very good vibration. It's clean. It's pure. When you look on white itself, it has a cleaner look to it. It doesn't mean that, it's black, white is it's a cleaner color than black. No. I myself like the color black more than white. However, the point is that the vibration, the words that are attached to these, the meaning that are attached to these words are very negative, and it's important to know who you are, because the origin of the word America and Africa comes from two Edomites. There's a story behind it. You could research it and look, but the origin of the name You cannot be two different people. You were captured and you just completely forget. You just don't care that, oh, okay, these people took us from the land of Africa and told us that we're African American now. You don't even know if you know the history behind it. You don't even know the history that, our ancestors fled, fled the land, fled Israel, from the Roman military and went into the hills. Went into the, I don't want to butcher it. Right, they fled. This is in the book Babylon and Timbuktu. He has the historical account, but the scriptures, I think Luke, I think 21, somewhere thereabout explains that, our people, or the journey of our history. So it's very important to know who you really are and not just take what this so-called white man has said to you, because Esau is the devil the Bible speaks of. So I'll just leave it there, and Lord willing, that this is edifying, to someone that may not know this, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai. I did this video hoping, to edify. As always, all praises, honor, and glory goes out to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash, Shalom.